This is Cafe English from VenturEnglish. Thanks for coming in. We'll be talking about topics that come up every day. Get your listening practice, new vocabulary, and even some useful idioms for your next conversation with friends or colleagues.
Hi everybody, welcome to Cafe English. I'm Paul Preston, and this week we are going into episode 5, I guess, of my 6-part series about thinking like an American. How do Americans think? How can you think like an American if you want to? And this episode is actually about doing, not thinking. Well, the first 5 episodes were about optimism, individualism, working together, teamwork, that sort of thing, and the work ethic, the Protestant work ethic in the U.S. But now I want to talk about the idea of do not think. So actually, this way of thinking probably goes back further than the United States or America itself. In fact, it goes back further than the New World. It could be argued that this was a fundamental difference in British and French philosophy, maybe even from the time of Shakespeare. The idea here is that the French always think of themselves, well, maybe traditionally thought of themselves as more philosophers, thinkers, not necessarily doers. People who take thinking very seriously and think very thoroughly before making actions. Well, of course, that is a fantastic way to look at the world, and many other cultures look at the world exactly that way. Why waste effort doing something that's not useful when really what you need to do is think about the problem, define what it is, and then move on it as you go? Well, this went very deep even into the philosophy of those old world cultures. Well, in Britain, there was the thinking of not thinking, just doing, seeing if it works, and if it doesn't work, modify, do it again, or do something else. Very different from thinking about the problem, identifying the problem, and then moving forward. So this was kind of, I suppose, a criticism by the French towards the English, even in the early days. The French are always doing, but they're not thinking. They're not really coming up with a plan before they act. Well, naturally, when people moved to the New World, most of them were probably British, and that thinking certainly prevailed in the New World. And there's another reason, because here in the New World, you needed to do things quickly, and you hoped they were the right things. Because if you took time to think about it, that may not be enough time. So you have to do something and hope it was the right thing. And so this really started to define the way of American thinking. Just do something, but do it quickly, because there isn't time to think twice about it. So maybe this is because bears are in the woods, and once you spot a bear, you've got to react quickly in order to not be eaten by the bear. So I know that's an oversimplification, but that kind of problem was what was facing the people in the New World. Much more than old world types of problems that come more slowly. They're basically more sophisticated, more cultural, more societal types of problems that could be considered and then improved. But in the New World, we were looking at survival in those early days, of course. So that started to form our opinion. Now, we talked about individualism before, how people were living far away from each other. Of course, this also means we don't necessarily know what other people are thinking, how other people are improving things. So the idea that you've got to do something on your own and quickly starts to gain ground and become even more important. Now, in the modern day, this is how we see a lot of American business being handled. Basically, move quickly, make decisions quickly, provide solutions for problems, maybe even before we know exactly what the problem is. Let's just put a Band-Aid on it, or let's fix it very temporarily so that we can move forward, and maybe we'll figure out a deeper fix later. But we don't have time to think about it now. Let's just solve the problem for the moment. This is a very, very common way of thinking in the US. And it also means that companies will tend to try to make decisions very quickly based on their understanding of a current situation rather than going in and finding a deeper understanding. International business, this thinking can be a bit challenging and complex. Different cultures look at these types of things in different ways, very different ways. And so Americans will often seem like we're a little bit of a bull in the china shop. That means very delicate things, very breakable things, but we are not careful with those things. We just walk right in, barge in, and make change quickly. Well, that is true. That does happen, and it probably is a result of some of this doing, not thinking way of looking at the world and looking at business. So it's a part of how Americans are taught to manage problems and manage issues. Try to solve them quickly, try to move on, and hopefully find the right solution eventually, but at least apply solutions as quickly as possible. So that's part 5, doing, not thinking. So if you haven't watched the other episodes, please do go back and watch them. I think you'll find them really interesting. Of course, it's just my perspective, but I'm American, so I guess my perspective is as good as any other Americans. So, but you may disagree, you may have other perspectives, and I'd love to hear them, because this isn't about me telling you what's right, it's about sharing opinions and ideas, and more importantly, it's about making you a better English speaker and a better communicator and expressing your ideas better. So express your ideas down in the chat. Let us know how I can help you, how I can make you a better English speaker. I would love to do it. That's why I'm doing this. That's why I'm here. Remember our website, VenturEnglish.com. Go check that out. We've got some courses there. You can sign up with a one-on-one session with me if you'd like, or with my partner Gareth. I've got a couple of podcasts, 3-Minute English, and Where Did That Come From? You can find them on Apple Music, Stitcher, Amazon Music, all of those places. So please do check out the podcast as well, and subscribe to this channel. I really would love to have you as part of the group, and hopefully I'm doing something that's going to help you become a better English speaker and a better communicator. So thanks for joining me this week on Cafe English. Have a great week, everybody. Hey, I just wanted to let you know real quick, maybe you have some concerns about how you're writing emails. We have a course for that at VenturEnglish.com. It's an email writing course. It goes through a lot of details about how to write emails, and gives you a lot of advice about how to structure, how to use the right phrases and the right words, and also how to read emails that come to you. So check out that email course at VenturEnglish.com. If that's something that you think you can use, I think you'll enjoy it.
Hey, thanks for joining me this week at Cafe English. If you'd like some more English practice, why not check out some of the other programs on the Venture English channel? We feature coaching advice and study tips to improve your English. Don't forget to subscribe and come back often. You can also go to our webpage at VenturEnglish.com. Become a member for free and maybe even try some of our courses. At Venture English, our goal is to help you speak English better.